Hey, this is Mike. Thank you so much for choosing this video. Tonight we're checking out a 2022 Hyundai Ioniq 5 all-wheel drive in the limited trim level at night. So this video focuses on the interior and exterior lighting of the vehicle. Check my channel for the full overview and test drive videos. So first I want to point out that with the headlight switch to the off position, you can turn off all the exterior lights when the vehicle is running at nighttime. So if you want to completely go dark, some vehicles don't allow you to do this, but this one you just simply turn the headlight switch off and it is completely dark on the outside. Now I have the parking lights on, and when I turn the parking lights on, there's quite a few lights that turn on. There is this accent light that goes across the front, and it kind of blends together. It seems bright on camera now. Let me lower the brightness so you can see these little strips of light. And the headlights, I don't have those on yet. It's just have the parking lights, and you see these little square and LEDs. All the lighting in this vehicle is LEDs, but those little rectangle U-shaped LEDs, they're continuous lighting. It's like, but they're going for a little bit of a pixelation there. Has little squares in the lenses to kind of make it look like we got some pixels. So let me lower the brightness here, and hopefully you'll be able to see those little squares. It has squares on the side. You see that little amber side marker there. But it's kind of hard to fully pick up sometimes on camera, but you can see it with your eyes no problem. But it's very impressive looking. It's going for that kind of like a digital 80s future is what it seems like to me, which is fantastic because that's what I like. From the side we can see the side marker, the amber side marker, but also we see the other lights as well here in the front. Here in the back, same deal. We have red lights here in the back, and there's a little side marker there, nice and bright. That little tiny one right there is the side marker. And then the tail lights, we have more of that pixelation look. Looks fantastic, and it's a nice deep red, and you can see the tail lights are connected with this very thin line, and the camera is making it look orange. But let me lower the brightness once again, and you can see it's a little bit better now. It looks more red, but still it's much deeper red than what the camera is showing. But you can see that nice strip of line there in the center, a little bit of a separation there, and then it continues on to the outer portion as well. That separation is for the hatch opening. Turn signal, very bright amber LEDs, much brighter than the other lights that it's displacing here. But you can see there's a little bit of a white light that shines between blinks, which is pretty interesting. And once again, let me lower the brightness so we can see a little bit better, because it is a very bright light. You see that little bit of a white light that just remains between blinks. We also have a turn signal indicator here on the side mirror. Once again, amber in color, very bright. You can see from the front, the side, and the back. And that's the amber color. So now with the tail lights, it's red. So it's a much brighter red, but it's the same color as the tail lights here, and it just flashes a nice bright red. And it fills in all those pixels there. Very bright. I'm losing my night vision here because it's blinding me. So now let's turn the headlights on. I'm going to show you what it looks like going down the road. But there's a view right there. So we have high beams, low beams. So we'll start with the low beams. And there's two projector focused beams here. And I'll try to lower the brightness here to show you, because they are super bright. And you can see on the outer and the inner are both illuminated now. And what happens when you put the high beams on, it just basically refocuses the center one. So you can see very sharp, bright LEDs. So there's a cutoff there, and once I go below that cutoff, then you can see the lights on the outer two shining on the camera here. Now I have the high beams on, and so now as I dip down, the first light you'll see is the inner two there. That's the high beams, and it works together with the low beams. So you can see they all shine and fill the road nicely and evenly with light, as you'll see as we go down the road. So the tag lights, when you lift up the hatch, they kind of illuminate the ground around the vehicle back here. There's also additional lights as an upgrade. In the accessories catalog for Hyundai, you can buy lights to go back here and to illuminate the back of the vehicle more and the cargo area a little bit more. But as it is, you have that light that kind of shines out away from the cargo area on the ground. And the cargo area only has one light right here. And it's kind of a warm tone color, so I'm not sure exactly. I'm pretty sure it's LED, but it might just be a regular bulb. But you notice since there's one light, it casts quite a bit of a shadow over in this area here. So like I have this box here in the middle, whatever you put in here, since there's only one light, is going to cast shadows. So it's inadequate, I think, as far as interior cargo light, but it's okay. Now, if they had these tag lights, something like these tag lights shining in from the tailgate in here, would be like over the shoulder type lights would be better. And I hadn't used the accessory lights, the upgraded lights, so maybe they solved that problem with those. But it's, you know, the vehicle, for the price of this vehicle, it should come with it. And lowering the hatchback here, you can just push this button, and it is backlit illuminated, so you can find it easier. The inside of the back door just has accent lighting, so it's like a blue, like a lighter blue, and it really reminds me of Tron, the blue in the Tron movies, especially the ones from the 80s, and it looks pretty cool. But the pockets are dark, so you can see that's all dark in there. Just has the accent around the speaker. It has a little light to help you find the window control, and that accent light goes all the way across here, because that whole area is a handle, so you can grab anywhere in there, which is really nice, really nice. I didn't think that would be such a positive thing until I started using it, and I was like, this is really convenient. So the back seat, you can see it's well lit. We do have light interior though, but it is well lit because we have two bright LEDs, one on each side of the sunroof, which illuminates the entire back seat nicely. Very nice. The floorboard, everything back here is well illuminated. We even have some little lights here for the USB charge ports as well. You can see just kind of a way of finding them in the dark. The inside of the front door, same deal. It has the accent lighting around the speaker and there on the handle. Backlit buttons for the controls here in the door. And here as well for the seats. The pockets are dark, but considering it's a light colored door and the interior lights are good, we can see in there fairly well. And once again, we have lots of good light here in the front, and we have bright interior, and including a bright color headliner. That really helps out with kind of bouncing the light around and making the interior much brighter looking. So interior lights are pretty dang good. Now you're going to need some of these lights because there's some lacking areas in which, you know, the interior lights is the only way you can see, but we'll get to that in just a minute. Okay, so I have the door open and the interior lights are still on. And let's go ahead and shut the door so you can see when the interior lights turn off, it gets quite a bit darker. Now, we do have some backlit buttons here. So you can see to the left of the steering column, there's backlit buttons. They're on the door. Got that nice soft blue glow there on the handle. The speaker, the floorboards are completely dark. You see the blue there. The blue in the back seat. We have some backlit buttons here in the center. Now you probably don't know exactly where I'm aiming the camera, and the camera's having a hard time focusing because it's quite a bit dark. So let's turn on the interior lights real fast so you can see where I'm aiming the camera. So right in there, you saw that there's some backlit buttons there. There's a little finder light for that USB. Good thing, because it's kind of in that dark area there. But let me turn the lights back off so you can see how easy it is to kind of get lost in the darkness. There was a whole pocket there where you could have stuff, but you won't be able to find it. The cup holders, can't find them. They're right there, but you know, like with the lights out, they're kind of dark. There's no illumination inside those, no illumination in that pocket down there, and the floorboard, that whole area there is dark. Luckily, the glove compartment actually has a light, and look how big that glove compartment is, and it illuminates the whole thing. That's good. Some vehicles that are very expensive, even more expensive than this one, don't even have a light in the glove compartment. So, you know, I understand this is an electric vehicle, but and you want to save on power, but at least you know, they don't. A little light here and there kind of helps out with seeing things, especially in compartments. So like this compartment right here, it is dark. So I turn off the interior lights, completely dark. Can't even see anything in there. So you will need to use interior lights in order to see certain things. And having bright interior lights like this, you know, kind of not that great when you're trying to go down the road and look for something, you know. So it might impede your ability to, you know, have your night vision or whatever, because you have these real bright lights. Now it does have reading lights. So up here, one of the things I want to point out though is that the button to turn on the interior lights is completely dark. So this button is right here. You can see it has a little light that lets you know it's on. You push it again, the light's gone. So now when you're trying to turn on the interior lights, you're kind of fumbling around up here trying to find that button, which doesn't make any sense. That light should have some kind of illumination, because the only reason why you would want to turn it on is because it's dark. And so the fact that that's not illuminated doesn't make any sense. Also, there's little reading lights here, and you just touch the light to turn them on. But the only way to tell where it is there's a little tiny bump right here, like a little braille type bump here and there. So at nighttime, you kind of have to run your finger along this little thing until you reach the light to turn it on. So, and the sensor's next to the light, so it's not exactly on the light. So I'm touching the light now. I actually have to go away from the light to touch the sensor, which is where the bump is, to turn it on. The same thing on that side. So you can turn on that, which is nice. So that helps out with, you know, this whole area right here without messing up your, you know, blinding you in the face, you know. It is a bright light, and you're able to see in these compartments. So these are really handy. But having the interior light button not illuminated is just doesn't make any sense. And this is not the only brand that does that. The visor has a mirror, but there's a light up here that you have to turn on. But if you accidentally leave it on, then when you close this, there's the little switch just popped out right there. It hits it and it turns it off. So it's kind of a low-tech solution to the problem there, but I thought that was pretty neat. The screens are really easy to read. They have good brightness at nighttime once you adjust it. Really good. Some screens are just either overly bright or they're just kind of not crisp or whatever, but these are great. Absolutely great. Let's go ahead and turn on the camera system as well, because this is really good as well. So you're able to see around the vehicle. We do have some parking lot lights. and stuff, but you can see pretty dang good around the vehicle. Pretty much anywhere that I've been so far has been really good. We can change the color of the accent lightings here in the door and all the doors here, the speaker and the handle part. Under vehicle settings, we go to the light here. You scroll down to where it says lights, and then you can go to ambient light, and then we can adjust the brightness, but we can also adjust the color. And there's plenty to choose from here. You can also have a custom color. So I'm going to go down the list, starting here at the top. Let's go ahead and go through the colors. So the very top is polar white. The next one is a moon white, which is a little bit different. Ice blue, ocean blue, jade green, orchid green, freesia yellow. I didn't say that right, I'm sure, but it's a yellow. Sunrise red, aurora purple, lightning violet, and then you can go into a custom color. Right now it's kind of like set as a hot pink type deal, but you can go up here and go at the very bottom actually and set up a custom color on this color wheel, which is pretty neat. Go ahead and put it over there for now. But yeah, all you got to do is go to the vehicle settings and go under the lights setting, and then you can adjust the ambient lights here. In addition to the charge status lights near the charge port, there's also in the front center of the vehicle a more subtle charge indicator light, and it's like these little bars that climbs up as the vehicle charges. As you're going down the road, there's a little spot on the left side of the cutoff on low beams that's intended to avoid blinding oncoming traffic. So that works really well. So far it's been fine. The automatic high beams are fantastic. They're near perfect, which is very, very rare for any vehicle. So the automatic high beams are working great, and the high beams are really, really good for electric car, and for the size of the vehicle and how high the lights are off the ground. Really, really good. You can see it penetrates deep into the darkness. You can see far away. It's evenly distributed light. It's not like patchy. Since we have 4 lights kind of mixed together, it's able to overlap enough to where it looks evenly distributed. Even close to the vehicle, all the way out, further out, it looks like it fades out very, very far away. So really impressed with the headlights. I haven't had any problem as far as that goes. They're not the brightest per se, and they're not the best headlights per se, but for this vehicle, and since it's an electric vehicle and you have to consider battery life and all that stuff, I think it's fantastic for an electric vehicle, the headlights.